Per Brad Spielberg of PFF, the Chicago Bears have an opportunity to upgrade their wide receiver room tremendously this offseason. Who does he think could be perfect fits for the Chicago Bears offense? We'll talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So Brad Spielberg, which it's ironic that this article came out yesterday. Didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday on the show. And now today actually got to interview Brad Spielberg over on the Chicago Bears podcast. So tune in with that episode later on today once it drops, because ton of insight on the salary cap, ton of insight on what the Bears should do in free agency. He's very dialed in on the Chicago Bears here. So very interesting articles over at PFF, but also getting some good insight from him on the podcast as well. Appreciate you guys for showing love on both platforms. But Brad Spielberg coming out and basically saying that there's a couple of wide receivers that he feels the Chicago Bears are the perfect landing spot for, and that he believes could be serious upgrades at the wide receiver position for the Chicago Bears. And I don't think anybody would doubt him. The number one name that pops up is Calvin Ridley, who's currently with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Had a little bit of an up and down season last year. Not sitting here telling you that Calvin Ridley was over the top great, but with DJ Moore in place, Calvin Ridley coming in being the number 2, I think that kind of works out for him, right? The thing that he said is about Chicago could get 2 players who are interchangeable as X receivers up on the line and as good move Z receivers with alignment versatility. Both can create separation vertically, but Ridley can take the top off defenses even more and let Moore utilize his high end after the catch abilities at the short and intermediate levels. I think that Calvin Ridley would be a very interesting get for the Chicago Bears here, wide receiver wise, especially in these scenarios, right? You're moving on from Darnell Mooney basically and all of them. And to me, you know, that was the one that, like, okay, you're going out and you're getting basically a nice number 2. At the same time, still going out and as he talks about in the podcast, right? Still, if you're sitting there at 9, making a draft pick and going and getting Rome Odunze, if you miss out on MHJ, if you go quarterback first overall pick, blah, blah, blah. But basically saying that this wide receiver room could have a massive upgrade. And I like the addition of Calvin Ridley if you were to bring him here. He's gotten him. He had kind of had this season to get his legs back under him after the year-long being out of the NFL. And now, you know, you kind of saw him work back in, but it wasn't great week in and week out. You're like, okay, this guy's definitely got some game, but is he going to be able to take that next step? I think next year could be a situation where, like he said, right, you've got interchangeable versatility there with both him and DJ Moore. Ridley able to get that speed, get over the top, gives you that deep threat ability, go up and get it. And then you got DJ Moore underneath. That could be a deadly combination. And it gives you a rookie that doesn't have to come in and immediately just say, I'm the second best guy on this team right now. I'm your second best wide receiver. I'm your second best option. I think that would be a massive upgrade for the Chicago Bears offensively. And it gives it, no matter what you do at quarterback, right? You're giving your quarterback more weapons that have enough speed to create separation quickly. That's the part that I like most about it. Let me know how you guys would feel if Calvin Ridley was an option for you. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Do you feel like he would be a good option for the Chicago Bears to go out there and get? The other name that he brought up that to me was, I think, probably is more probable for the Bears. This kind of aligns with me more with moving on from Darnell Mooney, if kind of similar situation guys, but maybe Curtis Samuel a little bit higher up on the docket than Mooney. Talking about Curtis Samuel with the Washington Commanders. And he talked about what I thought was interesting, how him and DJ Moore are very close. And he said on the Bears pod, basically best friends here. They both shared time in Carolina, and perhaps there's something to be taken about Moore's influence in Chicago for the Bears, hiring Moore's former wide receivers coach at Maryland in Chris Beatty. Though Beatty had several college and NFL stops and is certainly a deserving candidate regardless, Samuel offers a skill set that the Bears seemingly tried to acquire in drafting Velus Jones. He can carry the ball out of the backfield. He can also rack up yards after the catch from the slot and wide alignment. And I think that's kind of why you look at Curtis Samuel in maybe a role that you couldn't utilize Darnell Mooney in, right? Curtis Samuel could come in and give you somewhat of that great value Deebo Samuel type of role, right? First off, last names, come on, you got to make it happen. But you got a relationship already built up there with DJ Moore. You know how they're going to work in a back or on the field together. You know what they both can bring to the table. You know how both of them have the speed to do it. Now you're able to go out and also, again, still in this whole scenario, drafting a wide receiver that maybe is your bigger body wide receiver, your tall guy, your high point guy, different things like that. And you're able to go out there now and have guys that can not only take it out of the backfield, Deebo Samuel style, right? You've got the guy that not only has a yak monster yards after the catch for DJ Moore over there, who I told y'all we need the cognac sponsor on this podcast, man. Like when you have those two guys in place, and then you go out and you go get, right, maybe your Z receiver in the draft, to me, that is a wide receiving core that, again, takes a massive upgrade. And I would love to see that kind of combination come together. I think no matter what, though, it feels like, and when you talk to Brad, he really feels this way, that the offense is going to have an opportunity to take a leap forward, not a step forward, a leap forward with some of the pieces that they can go out there and get. He even spoke about some of the guys at the center position and things like that as well, right? Like, this is an opportunity for the Chicago Bears to really commit to the offensive side of the ball. And the one thing that I do want to see them do in this process is, right, there's some great defensive names available. Chris Jones is available. And with some of these guys you're spending money on, right, like you're going to have to pay Jalen Johnson. You've already paid Montez Sweat. Are you keeping Justin Fields, or are you going Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever in this scenario? Because you've got to commit money to these guys. That's going to be big money. And there's big money names on the other side of the ball that defensively you can go get. But to me, you have an opportunity this year where you have money, where you have draft capital, where you have a coaching staff in place that seems like they're going to be able to develop some of these guys and be able to get the most out of whoever the quarterback is. Hopefully that's the case, right? For sure, when you look at that running back or that wide receiver room with Chris Beatty already in there, you know that there's a relationship with him and DJ Moore. DJ Moore's got a relationship with Curtis Samuel. I just feel like this is the year where you need to focus on spending your money offensively. This is the year where you need to focus your draft capital on going offense. Not to say you don't spend any money on defense, not to say you go completely cheap on defense, but there's an opportunity here where you can go out and get you a free agent starting level center. Not to say that you're getting a top 5 center, because they're not available. They're not going to be available. You can draft a young guy right now. You can go out and you can get you a top level wide receiver out here. And yes, he's going to be a number 2 to DJ Moore, because you've already got a top level wide receiver on your team. So if you go get Calvin Ridley or Curtis Samuel, they're both going to be elite players standing opposite of DJ Moore. And then you can go out and you can get your Rome Odunze. You can go out and you can get, I mean, if you end up taking him, right, Marvin Harrison Jr. Like that to me is the situation that the Bears, like, the upgrade offensively could be a massive leap this year. And I think that's the part where it's the first year where I can actually see, like, these are guaranteed spots, right? Curtis Samuel's going to come here and he can play football. It's not that there's no talent on this team. Curtis Samuel's a good football player. DJ Moore's here. He's a good football player. I'm pretty confident in both Rome Odunze and Marvin Harrison Jr. coming into this NFL and being good football players. And I think the part that interests me most about both of those names is, right, are they coming in to be the number 1, or are they coming in to be the number 2? In this situation, I would say you've got your rookies coming in to be the number 3 right now. And that's the best situation for them to learn in, because there's not a ton of expectation on you. There's not a ton of, now, yes, there's expectation as a first round pick, right? but it's not all make or break on you being successful. We're not asking you to be Justin Jefferson rookie year. We're not asking you to be Jamar Chase rookie year. If those things happen, very nice. We're very excited. But now you've got an offense with so many options that a young guy can develop, can thrive, can learn, can adjust to the NFL game. That's what I want to see the Chicago Bears build. That's what I've said I wanted to see the Chicago Bears build this entire season. And it seems like this is a situation where the Chicago Bears are actually looking to build it. But I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Make sure you guys tune in to the Chicago Bears podcast today over on ESPN as well, because in-depth analysis with Brad Spielberg, the guy who wrote this article, the guy who's breaking down all of these predictions and different things like that, a salary cap analyst, a salary cap savant for PFF. He gives some great insight over there as well. Tune in with that. That should be out probably about 4:30 somewhere in there. So tune in with us over there as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. Peace.